Welcome back to looking at cryptids from all over the world. Today we're heading over to Russia and talking about the Chuchunya. These guys are also referred to as Siberian snowmen by some, but they are the most human-like cryptids I've ever seen. In fact, in this rendering of it, it looks just like a man, right? I mean, it's crazy. But some history about these guys. Back in the late 1920s, what was then the Soviet government were getting reports about these massive humanoid creatures over in the northeastern part of their country in the Siberian area. But reports describe these guys as being anywhere from 6 to 7 feet tall, protruding brow, broad shoulders, built like a unit. But one of the most important physical descriptions of these guys is that they are completely covered in hair in most accounts, which makes sense because they're in one of the coldest parts of the world. But after being notified of some of these reports, the Soviet government decided to send out an exploration and research team to some very remote parts of the Russian wilderness. But years after this, there was this idea going around that Russia was actually killing these things off, just absolutely massacring them. And that's the reason they sent the team out there, was to do that. It was to get rid of them. It's also important to note that in many accounts, they are wearing fur and other animal skins, most likely from reindeer that live up there. I did not know this, but apparently some of the groups that live in these very remote parts of Russia are very aware of these guys, and they actually refer to them as what essentially means bandits, because apparently these Chuchunyas like raiding their barns and stealing their stuff. Now, there are many theories as to what these Chuchunyas actually are. Some believe they are a group of Neanderthals that never went extinct that live up in Siberia. If you didn't know, Neanderthals are a very, very human-like people group that went extinct about 40,000 years ago. Very close relative to modern-day humans. But I think it's important to note that the average height for a Neanderthal was nowhere near 6 to 7 feet. It was more like 5'5". Some think that it is a population of very intelligent wild apes that are very close relative to human, but just branched off somewhere different in the evolutionary tree, and also happened to just go undiscovered in Siberia for a very long time. But there is the possibility in a lot of people's minds that this is just a group of people that live up there that just happen to look a little different, very tall and very hairy. 6 to 7 feet isn't out of the realm of possibility of just being some real tall people. I mean, it's not that crazy. But another theory proposed that it was an exiled man from one of the tribes up there who was, kicked out, and he also suffered from gigantism, and people just happened to stumble across him one day by himself in the wilderness, and they made this kind of urban legend cryptid thing about him, which is, if that's the case, that's really sad.